You're listening to Big World Network.
Amazing Grace, Episode 10. Written by James Hellvig, read by Meagan Hedin. It'd been a mess. The police investigation had found video evidence of a long history of abuse involving dozens of victims over the years. The owner was looking at a life sentence. After haggling with the DA, the charges for assaulting the child abuser against Charlie had been dropped. The local papers were heralding him as a hero, a title that Tammy thought he richly deserved. Using her contacts in the news coverage, Tammy had been able to get the VA hospital to fast-track Charlie's case and subsequent treatment. I'm gonna be an inpatient for a while. Kinda feels weird after all this time outside. I couldn't find Sadie. Could you tell her goodbye and thank her for me? Smiling and squeezing Charlie's shoulder, Tammy replies, Sure, Gunny. You've got my address. Keep in touch, okay? Fidgeting, Charlie tries to find the words to express his gratitude. After several faltering starts, he hugs Tammy tightly, whispering hoarsely, Thank you, ma'am. Returning the embrace, Tammy tells him, Don't forget I still owe you one, Gunnery Sergeant Beck. Watch your six. Snorting, the man chuckles, releasing her. Stepping back, Charlie then comes to attention, snapping off a salute. Aye, aye, ma'am. Returning the gesture, Tammy winks, and tells him that flattery probably won't save him. She leaves with a grin. Now, several weeks later, the church has gotten a percentage of the closed daycare's business, something Tammy hadn't foreseen. The evening programs are going well, and she started the instructor's classes, but she can't seem to shake the funk that has been shrouding her thoughts of late. She recognizes the feelings, but they've been dormant for years. We got the bad guy. Charlie's getting better. What the hell am I moping about? The abuse case had brought back painful memories of her own childhood and of the little life she'd taken long ago. Damn it, you're a pastor. Where's your faith? Sighing aloud in response to her own inner questions, Tammy mutters, I wish I knew. Father Bernard looks into the worried face of Mother Steele. Church politics have evolved and yet remain unchanged for centuries. The publicity surrounding recent events have prompted the Archbishop's letter. The camera phone video of Tammy headbutting a pedophile is apparently quite popular on YouTube. You needn't worry so. This too will pass, he tells her. Standing, his longtime friend retorts, This was a victory. To question its appearance degrades its importance. She doesn't need this distraction now. Her heart is heavy enough at the moment. Leaning forward, arms on his desk, Father Bernard asks, Am I unaware of something, Nancy? She's in pain. This incident has served as a catalyst. Her spirit is diminished. Shaking her head at the priest's questioning expression, she continues, Tammy has said nothing. Call it intuition or experience, I just know. Leaning back in his chair, Father Bernard sits quietly, contemplating a moment before answering. I trust your instincts as always, my friend. Her angst stems from her past, which we know little about. Be prayerful. I may be able to get additional guidance. Smiling at the scowling woman, he chuckles. I'm not being mysterious. A phone call and we'll see. I think I will share the Archbishop's letter. It's not every day one gets compared to a Templar. Your humor bone is oddly formed, George Bernard, Mother Steele says sternly. Shaking his head in agreement, the smiling church leader replies, An occupational safety valve, dear friend. Dale hangs up the phone, mentally reviewing his recent conversation with the priest. Seems like a solid fellow. Not that I'd tell him anything anyway. At least he was forthright about my questions. Time frames and schedules overlap in his thoughts, and he reaches for the phone, yelling for his orderly. Tate! The junior non-com sticks his head in the door questioningly. Locate Captain Canet and set up a meeting here late today or first thing tomorrow. Nodding, the young man closes the door as Dale starts punching numbers. 48 hours. Should be doable. On the other end of the line, a phone begins to ring. Alberto's breath is visible in the crisp early morning air. He and 3 other teens struggle to keep pace with Tammy and Sue as the pair lead them through the winding paths in Central Park. Sue is a young church employee who has joined Tammy's adult classes and is part of the instructor's program. Twice now, Alberto has thought they were nearing completion judging by their past distances, but Tammy and Sue show no sign of slowing. Trying to ignore the hitch in his side, Alberto pushes on. If I pass out, they gotta stop, right? Tammy watches with pride as the still panting teens work through their cool-down exercises and rehydrate. She's pushed them harder and run them farther than any of them had ever gone before. 5 miles. Not a bad way to start a Saturday. If only everything was this simple. Outstanding, people. Sue is taking you back as I have a meeting to attend to this morning. By the way, you all just completed your first 5-mile run. The 2 women chuckle as the youngsters whoop and holler, jubilant in their accomplishment. Waving as the church van pulls away with the teens, Tammy climbs into her own vehicle just as her phone chirps. It is a message from Father Bernard letting her know that the schedule hasn't changed. Sighing loudly, she rests her head momentarily on the wheel. Keep to the schedule. Fake it till you make it, damn it. Berating herself, she cranks the Jeep and heads for her apartment. Climbing the stairs, Tammy rounds the second-floor landing and stops mid-step, a small gasp of surprise escaping her. From the top of the stairwell, Anna stands, yelling, "MT!" Anna! Rushing up 2 stairs at a time, Tammy reaches Anna. She picks her up and hugs her tightly while Dale and Kat look on, smiling. "Told ya," Dale says, elbowing his companion. "You owe me $20. Kat snorts. Tammy finds her voice, asking them, "What are you all doing here? Is everything okay?" Kat grins at her former commander. "We're fine. Anna wouldn't let me pick your locks. Can we see your place now?" Reluctantly setting Anna down, Tammy scowls at the duo, suspicious. Taking her hand, Anna tugs her down the hallway. "Come on, Mom!" In her excitement, Anna doesn't see the furious blinking Tammy does, trying to hide her sudden tears. Kat and Dale exchange a meaningful glance. Anna's use of the M word openly reveals her closely guarded thoughts about her adoptive role model. After a quick tour and some time to settle in, the group gathers in the living room, sitting comfortably close on the sofa. Anna is chattering excitedly about the city, the flight, and peppering Tammy with questions. Tammy answers each question, trying to glean the reason for their surprise appearance. Her attention snaps back when Anna asks, "Did it hurt when you thumped that bad man?" "How did you—" "Coolest video ever," Anna giggles. Glaring at Kat and Dale, Tammy stands, hands on her hips. Before she can utter a sound, Dale raises his hands, exclaiming, "We didn't show her!" Kat elbows him. "Not the first time, anyway." Tammy mutters, "Unbelievable." Anna hugs her waist, telling her, "Don't be mad. I saw it at school and showed them later. Uncle Dale and Aunt Kat told me that man hurt kids. I'm glad you hit him." Closing her eyes and hugging back, Tammy's ire abates. Stroking Anna's hair, Tammy softly says, "Me too, baby." Kneeling, she presses their foreheads together. "I have a meeting and I need a shower. See you in a minute." Standing, Tammy steps sideways and leans down to embrace her friends on the sofa. "I'm glad you're here and I love you guys, but when I get back, you gotta come clean." Clearing his throat and harumphing loudly, Dale says, "Actually, Major, we're here for that meeting as well." "And sightseeing," Kat adds. Face reddening, Tammy lets go, studying their faces. Honest concern and love are etched there. Shit, how do I stay angry with that? "Father Bernard?" she asks. Dale nods in response and Kat takes her hand. A new thought occurs to her. "Crap, am I fired?" Chuckling aloud, Dale answers, "Not the impression he gave me. More like concerned." Cutting his eyes to their intently listening child, he continues, grinning broadly and pinching his nose. "Go shower already. You are ripe." Rolling her eyes, Tammy sighs loudly before turning to leave. Kat stands, trailing her. She says brightly, "What do you want me to lay out?" "You just want to snoop in my closet," Tammy growls. Anna chimes in, "Hey, I want to snoop too." The pair angle into Tammy's bedroom as she closes the bathroom door. God, it's good to be home. Shaking her head, Tammy starts the shower. Father Bernard and Mother Steele smile as Tammy, Dale, and Kat settle into chairs. "I want to thank you all for coming," says Father Bernard. "Tammy, I apologize for misleading you, but I was advised that you might be resistant otherwise." "This is about the letter?" Tammy asks blandly. "The letter is hogwash," Mother Steele says irritably. "We are concerned only with you, dear." Struggling to remain impassive, Tammy replies, You called my emergency contacts because I was feeling blue? Mother Steele approaches and kneels in front of her, taking her hand. I feel your sorrow and can see the pain you struggle so hard to conceal. You have your talents, my friend. I have mine. Dale and Kat watch silently. Tammy realizes they're here to keep her from minimizing her past. Hitching a deep breath, she exhales loudly and coldly says, I'm having doubts, okay? Maybe I'm not cut out for this work. I don't know. If there's a master plan, I sure as hell don't get it. Father Bernard nods solemnly. Mother Steele, still clasping Tammy's hand, squeezes it gently. Do you believe? The priest asked Tammy softly. The God I want to believe in wouldn't allow such crap, Tammy snaps. Surprising her, Father Bernard smiles, booming, So, we are in agreement. Believing in the Creator is easy. Faith in his plan? Now that's hard. Leaning forward and pointing to the kneeling nun and then back to himself, he continues. We've been doing this for, 40 years or so, and I have yet to receive a memo. More softly, he continues, I believe you are here for a great purpose. I also know I haven't the slightest idea as to what that ultimate purpose may be. But it's been interesting so far. Chuckling loudly and shaking his head, Father Bernard leans back into his chair. Eyes tearing, Tammy whispers hoarsely, I wanted to kill that pervert. But you didn't, Mother Steele says. Squeezing the nun's hand, Tammy swallows hard and meets Father Bernard's eyes. It was a very near thing. How do you let go? Mother Steele snorts, releasing Tammy's hand and standing. Moving to the corner of the desk and leaning against it, she spreads her arms wide, encompassing the room. Sometimes you don't. We all try to exert control. You must trust, and doing so blindly, this is a burden we all struggle with. Clearing his throat, Father Bernard interjects. This decision is yours, but I would like you to take the week off and spend some time with your family. He holds a hand up, stalling any objections. You are free to do as you wish with your training schedule. This is a vacation, Tammy, not a disciplinary action. Nodding her acceptance, Tammy stands, her former teammates joining her. Thank you. I'll be here for my classes. She turns and strides out of the office. Dale and Kat are left in her wake. They start for the exit. Father Bernard says, Mr. Watts, a moment, please. Stopping, they turn back to the worried-looking man. Do you think we'll lose her? He asks softly. Exchanging a glance with Kat, Dale replies honestly, Padre, I just don't know. He shrugs. In our profession, we're all control freaks. It's how we survive. Kat adds, We'll be in touch. Tammy obviously trusts you both. That says a lot. Hurrying out then with Dale, she closes the door behind them. Father Bernard sighs, muttering, Trusting us isn't the issue.
This has been a presentation of Big World Network. Visit us on BigWorldNetwork.com for more free weekly series, or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to Big World Network.